We start with the white logo of Guiding Eyes for the Blind on a blue background. A video backdrop of the pond on our Yorktown Heights campus with the title Guiding Eyes for the Blind presents the graduating class of September 2019. We begin with Chris and his black lab Rico as they walk together inside a grocery store. Rico stands patiently while Chris opens a door leading into a brick building. Rico stands and kisses Chris's chin during a quiet moment during their training. Chris and Rico wait together for an arriving elevator in the carpeted hallway of a building. Chris and Rico stand at the curb of a sidewalk after successfully crossing the street together. Rico lays on his side and sleeps between Chris's feet. Congratulations to Rico's raiser, Nicole Dorsey. Chris and his black lab Ronnie walk on a shady sidewalk with an instructor trailing behind. Chris and Ronnie walk on a brick crosswalk on a sunny day. Chris and Ronnie walk on a brick crosswalk parallel to oncoming traffic. Chris and Ronnie walk on a sidewalk adjacent to grass and a chain-link fence. Chris and Ronnie cross the street, closely followed by an instructor. Chris and Ronnie walk towards us on a sidewalk on a sunny day. Congratulations to Ronnie's raiser, Lee Nagel. Cody and his black lab drummer walk towards us and smile on a tree-lined sidewalk. Cody and drummer walk across a red brick crosswalk on a sunny day. Cody and drummer walk on the sidewalk beside a storefront, closely followed by an instructor. Cody and drummer walk past garbage cans on a sidewalk. Cody reaches into his treat pouch to reward drummer, who is patiently waiting for a treat after successfully reaching the curb. After completing a training run, Cody leans down to pet drummer, who is smiling at the camera. Congratulations to drummer's raiser, Alexander McIntyre. Ellie and her yellow lab Fauna cross the street parallel to traffic on a cloudy day. Ellie reaches into her treat pouch to reward Fauna, who just targeted the curb. Ellie and Fauna walk together on the sidewalk beside plants and storefronts. On a sunny day, Ellie and Fauna cross the street with an instructor trailing behind. Ellie reaches down to reward Fauna for a job well done after targeting a brick curb. Fauna looks up thoughtfully at the camera while in harness. Congratulations to Fauna's raiser, Dave Palmer. Eric and his black lab, Trent, walk briskly inside the mall around pillars and columns. Eric leans down to praise Trent, who successfully targeted the bottom step of brick stairs. Eric and Trent stand patiently on a downward-moving escalator as they ride to the floor below. Trent guides Eric on a sidewalk alongside a stone wall. Eric sits with his arm around Trent as the team smiles for the camera. Trent smiles happily at the camera with his tongue out. Congratulations to Trent's raiser, Catherine Langston. Jim enjoys a quiet moment with his black lab Vespa, who is resting her head on his leg. Jim and Vespa walk quickly down the sidewalk beside a tall building. Jim reaches into his treat pouch to reward a patiently waiting Vespa who has just reached the curb. Jim and Vespa walk together on a sidewalk beside a parking lot. Jim and Vespa approach the tactile edging of the curb after crossing the street. Vespa looks happily at the camera while standing beside Jim. Congratulations to Vespa's raiser, Janet Newcity. Kevin and his German Shepherd Hetty wait to cross the street at the end of the sidewalk. Hetty waits patiently as Kevin opens the door of a brick building. Kevin and Hetty stand at the tactile edging and wait to cross the street. Hetty shows off her silly side while laying upside down with a toy in her mouth. Kevin and Hetty both smile for the camera with trees in the background. Hetty lays in harness underneath a table and stares thoughtfully at the camera. Congratulations to Hetty's razor, Cassie Houghton. Lisa and her black lab, Addie, walk towards us on a tree-lined sidewalk. Lisa smiles broadly while reaching down to give Addie a treat after successfully reaching the curb together. Lisa and Addie walk on the brick crosswalk on a bright, sunny day. Lisa gives Addie treats after returning to the door of the White Plains training house. Lisa and Addie walk together on the sidewalk alongside storefronts, closely followed by an instructor. Lisa and Addie walk towards us on the sidewalk, followed by an instructor. Congratulations to Addie's razors, Sarah Kate Hill and Carol Buchanan. Lisa and her yellow lab, Quella, cross the street on a brick crosswalk. Lisa smiles down at Quella after successfully crossing the street and reaching the curb. Lisa and Quella walk down a shady, tree-lined sidewalk, closely followed by an instructor. Quella leads Lisa to the automatic door entrance of a store. Lisa and Quella share a hug after a successful training run. Lisa and Quella walk towards us as they approach the curb of a sidewalk. Congratulations to Quella's razors, David F. and Ann Anderson. Megan and her yellow lab, Finn, walk together in an indoor weight room. Megan smiles happily beside Finn, who stands patiently and looks at the camera. Megan smiles at the camera while standing beside Finn, who is sitting beside her on a low concrete wall. Megan and Finn walk quickly towards their destination inside a shopping mall. Megan sits next to Finn and brushes him while he happily sleeps. Megan smiles happily while Finn lays comfortably at her feet. Congratulations to Finn's razor, Donna Lind. Thomas and Blaze run side by side on the paved path of a tree-lined park beside Thomas's son. Thomas smiles at Blaze, who stands by his side in a carpeted conference room. Blaze happily receives a pat from Thomas while standing at the podium during a Guiding Eyes graduation. Thomas kneels beside Blaze and puts his arm around him as the two smile for the camera. Congratulations to Blaze's razor, Kelly Walsh. Fergus, a male yellow Labrador retriever in harness, guides his handler towards the camera with his ears flying. Congratulations to Fergus's razors, Catherine Wolkin and Abby Davenport. We thank this month's sponsors for their generosity. Congratulations to the September 2019 graduating class from the Trivedi family. Good luck with your new best friends. We hope you experience new adventures and overcome challenges together for many years to come. Please stay in touch and keep us updated with your progress. Dr. Gering Trivedi. Congratulations to Team Finn. May you have many safe and happy adventures together. Thank you to the puppy raisers of these amazing dogs for all they do to support the Guiding Eyes mission. Special thanks to Regional Manager Joy Hawksby for her guidance and support in helping the Central New York raisers and puppies be the best they can be. The Central New York Puppy Raising Region. Congratulations to the September 2019 graduating class and guide dog team Thomas and Blaze from Cindy Sullivan and Bob Rollman, fosters for proud dad G.E.B. Inget. Cindy Sullivan and Bob Rollman. We gratefully acknowledge the Fain family for their support of our online streaming capabilities. We finish with the white Guiding Eyes for the Blind logo on a blue background. Congratulations, graduates!
Good afternoon, everyone. I know. This is a rowdy group. It's a small class, but a lot of people turned out to come see them all. Welcome and thank you for joining us for today's graduation of the September 2019 class at Guiding Eyes for the Blind. It's always great to see a good turnout here. I'd like to extend an additional welcome to a few graduates from the Guiding Eyes family who've made the trip today. Karen Dewing and her dog Flint with her family are here, as well as Pam McGonigal, her dog Maida. And I also saw Daniela Robinson around. I don't see her in here right at the moment, but I want to give her a shout out as well. It's always great to see other grads who come back to support new members of the Guiding Eyes family at their graduation. Let's have a big round of applause for Maddie Swab, who took most of those photos for the slideshow, as well as Zoe Bennett and volunteer Alyssa Phillips, who put it together. My name is Jolene Hollister. I've had the pleasure of being the class supervisor for this wonderful group here today. Today we recognize 12 teams graduating from our residential, home training, and our specialized training programs. Without further ado, let's introduce the graduates. From North Platte, Nebraska, Chris Turner and Ronnie. From Pointe Claire, Quebec, Canada, Jim Bergeron and Vespa. From Franklin, Tennessee, Ellie Tutkin and Fauna. From Wichita, Kansas, Verlisa, Narcisse and Addie. From Everett, Washington, Cody Lip and drummer. From Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts, Lisa Gathers and Quella. And from Denver, Colorado, Vito Russell and Fergus. Also today, we are recognizing graduating from our specialized training program in Portland, Maine, Christopher Smith and Rico, home trained by specialized training GDMI Julie Angle. Graduating from our home training program in Arlington, Virginia, Eric Bridges and Trent, home trained by home training GDMI Nikki Wentz. Graduating from our specialized training program today in Houston, Texas, Megan Hess and Finn, home trained by specialized training GDMI Andrea Martin. And also graduating from our home training program in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, Robert, Kevin Skelsey and Hetty, home trained by field rep Lisa Derleth. And last but certainly not least, today we recognize Thomas Panic and Blaze. And at this time, I'm going to turn the podium over to our board chair, John Donnelly.
Thank you, Jolene, and congratulations to the graduates today. It's my pleasure. I've been involved with Guiding Eyes for about 20 years, started as a volunteer, been on the board for 15 years, and last year or so, chair of the board, which is a complete honor for me. It's just a wonderful organization. I always say we have the best guide dog school in the world, not just because we have the best dogs, but really because we have the best volunteers, the best puppy raisers, and we've got the best employees who work here day in, day out at Guiding Eyes for the Blind. Terrific people. But thank you, all the puppy raisers. Without you and all our volunteers, we'd never be able to do all the great things we're able to do for people. So thank you so much. Tom Panic's our president and CEO. He graduated today as well with new dog Blaze. So it's good to see you together. It's the first time for me meeting Blaze. Jolene Hollister, you always do a terrific job. Done a terrific job again. Thank you. I'd like to thank one of our fellow board members, Dr. Trevetti, who's an ophthalmologist. We were lucky to recruit him to our board last year. He's been a great addition, and he sponsored the class today. And I'd like to thank Cindy Sullivan and Bob Pullman, proud sponsors of Stud Ingot, and they've been puppy raisers for a very, very long time. So I just want to thank you all for coming today. It's always terrific to be at graduation, and thanks everybody for everything.
Thank you, John. And now I'm going to call up Thomas Panic to the podium. I think you're all good with the microphone.
Good. All right, well, welcome everybody to Guiding Eyes for the Blind. It's a real pleasure to be here. Today I'm going to speak to you not as president, but as a student and also as a graduate of Guiding Eyes for the Blind. And we'll also get to hear from Chris in a few moments, just representing the class. We've had some incredible experiences over the past 3 weeks, and I promised everyone here that's sitting to my left and right that in 3 weeks' time, if you make the commitment to training at Guiding Eyes for the Blind, you'll be here on this day up at the podium. So very happy that you all helped me keep my promise. It took a lot of hard work, early mornings, working with the trainers, working independently through White Plains, getting to know your route, and really working towards the perfect match with your guide dog. And, you know, for those of you who know me, I'm a person who is always aspiring for perfection, to sometimes to my detriment. But, you know, the long and short of it is that, you know, you can think about these dogs in terms of, you know, whether they're perfect. And I'll say that I had another dog previously that graduated with me who is the perfect dog, but it wasn't the perfect dog for me. He went on to be an emotional support animal, and I worked with him for a little bit during the marathon. But, you know, when you think about the perfection of the dogs and what is perfect, it's funny. I talked with Kelly, the puppy raiser who's here today, about some of the things that Blaze did in the home. And one of the things he loved to do is he hopped up on the office chair and sat there in front of the computer like he's actually working, you know. So, you know, is that something we want the guide dogs to do? Unless, you know, John wants to make Blaze here president, I think we're going to keep him on the floor. The other thing about, you know, the dogs is that they do kind of funny things when you get to know your dog, and everybody knows what I'm talking about, right? They just have these unique things that you do. So I'm going to share a couple of very brief, unique things that Blaze did when I was with him. When I first took him in the home, you know, he was getting used to his schedule. He's getting used to my kids, with my family, just being around. And one morning I slept 15 minutes in too late. He had a large bowl of water, and he decided that he was going to use the bathroom just like everybody else, right? So went to the kids' bathroom, and, you know, did he lift up the seat? No, but I can't get my boys to do that either, so it's okay. So how did I know he used the bathroom? I found the rubber ducky in the front yard. Then we went to Manhattan, and, you know, I have a pretty serious job. I have to do some fundraising, and sometimes it's fun. We went to a company like Google, and Jolene was with me, and he was laying on his back, and I'm a millennial too kind of thing, just relaxing, having that silliness. And then we went to one of the financial technology companies, and he was laying there, and they were asking me about all the training and everything that we do and how well-mannered our dogs are and how everything is, you know, to the T. And then one of the bankers tapped me on the shoulder, and he said, "I just want to let you know that your dog chewed through the leash." All I can say, he was a little bored with that experience. But, you know, are they perfect? No, they're not perfect, but they're perfect for us. They're perfect for me. You know, I was able to go to Boston, and I was there for an eye appointment. And when I was up there, he took me into a flower shop. I didn't know it was a flower shop, but I was able to get a reminder to get flowers for my wife and daughter that trip. So. And I was in the movie theater last night, and he was eating popcorn, buttery popcorn, you know, right underneath me. My wife and I went to see the movies. And I thought to myself, wow, why is he eating this popcorn? I thought to myself, if I was laying on the floor and someone's dropping buttery popcorn on my nose, I'm going to eat it too, you know? It's like, come on. So, again, the ability to travel independently, as everyone knows, Jim's had 6 guide dogs here from us. And for those of you who have the guide dog for the first time, you'll know that you have to work with them because they are creatures, they're dogs. And like us, they're not perfect. But again, they're perfect for us. So thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate all the support from the puppy raisers. Kelly, it means the world to me that you raised this dog. I know it's your 7th dog. And I do want to do one other thing, and I don't have a chance to do this a whole lot, but I was looking through our donors, and I know all of you who support Guiding Eyes understand this, that we all give what we can. John and Nancy, over the lifetime of giving that you've been here, you are now our top donors of Guiding Eyes for the Blind. Thank you so much for your commitment over the years. I really appreciate that. I'd like to next introduce the person who is our guru in training, been here 32 years, managing all of the training that goes into these dogs, and that's Kathy Zabricki. Warm round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom, and welcome everyone to this very happy occasion. Having a guide dog means many things to a blind person. Some of our graduates say that they feel more confident, they have a greater sense of safety as they travel, and all of them report, of course, they enjoy the companionship a guide dog provides. And there's more. Some of our graduates have reported that they experience an increase in social interaction with their guide dog. Here's what a recent graduate had to say about this. Besides being able to flow freely down the street, I'd like to talk about a different aspect of working with a guide dog. The human connection a guide dog brings. People never came up to me and introduced themselves to me when I had my white cane. They do that every day because I have a guide dog. And my world is a much richer place when I interact with people. I'm not trapped inside my own head, but engaged with what's happening around me. My guide dogs have led me across bridges to the public just as surely as they have led me down the street. And at this moment, I'd like to ask all our puppy raisers to please stand up. You are the bridge builders. You are why we're able to be here today, and we are so grateful to each and every one of you. Jolene, Michelle, and Catherine, you've done an outstanding job of preparing these teams for success. Whenever I had the opportunity to watch you work with the class, it gave me such pleasure. You did so with such compassion, professionalism, and grace. Thank you for everything you've done to make sure these teams are going to be successful. And Maddie, I know it's no easy job to keep everybody in the right place, get them there when they need to be there and on time. So again, thank you for everything you've done to help this class be successful. And I'd like to ask the entire team to please stand up. And graduates, this is really your day. You've worked very hard for this moment. Take pride in how far you've come. And know that with faith in yourself and your new guide dog, there's no limit to how far you can go. Thank you for letting us share this journey with you. And on behalf of the entire Guiding Eyes staff here in Yorktown, Patterson, and all our remote staff, congratulations and best wishes for your every continued success. And to everyone who supports us on this journey, whether it's through the gift of your time, your financial support, or sharing our story with others. Thank you so much. We wouldn't be here without all of you. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy. All right, time to shift gears just a bit and hear from our graduates. Chris Turner, please come up.
Yeah. Yes, you got your treat. Good boy.
I think we should be good.
Awesome. Well, I was asked or Army volunteered to speak today. We can go with whichever version you want to go with the story. I know what the true version is, and I'll keep that to myself. So it's been tough the last few days for me because I'm actually searching for words as I stand here right now. And I promised Jolene not to cry, so that was the other part of the whole process. So we're working on that right now. But anyhow, as I was looking back and trying to encapsulate what we've done, I don't know, somebody gave me the days, but it's been like 20 some days. We basically started out in a van circling an airport, and then from there we were brought here, and then we slowly kind of found each other, and we had our first meal. At that moment, the first thing I noticed is we started to laugh. There was laughter from the moment we started to the moment we got in line today. And that is what has gotten through to us these last few days. And that laughter is what it will help us when we go home. Because we're going to have moments, as has been mentioned, because we have children that we're now taking care of. And as children are, they will find their moments to find that time to be a little naughty and do those things. And yes, I'm referring to the dog this time, Jolene. So, but it is in those moments that we will do what we are trained, we will get back on course, and we will finish what we started. But then we need to go home and just do that, laugh. And some of you can think about me. That will bring a lot of laughter to you because I know I've provided enough, including getting into a minivan in a new fashion that nobody's ever seen before, that I don't think that training will ever be repeated, but that's all right. See, look at that. And if that doesn't help, you can always remember fun size. If that giggle doesn't stay with you, nothing ever will. So just from there. But as I said, we will keep this brief. And right now, I want to start with the thank yous. We want to thank those at the Canine Development Center who bred our dogs, those who fostered our dogs, who cared for the broods, and the studs. I got it right, there you go. We want to thank the kennel staff, the trainers, and the vet staff that kept our dogs happy and healthy, and also provided us with a great wealth of information so that we continue that health and happiness as we go forward into our new adventures and some of us more future shenanigans. We also want to thank to the amazing kitchen staff for not only just the great food that was provided, but also the nourishment to our souls. They were the ones who at times just gave us that smile we needed with breakfast, lunch, dinner, or if we were sneaking around to find a snack, they were right there to take care of us and make sure that we were done, or making sure they provided a little tea to go back to the room with us, or whatever it might be. And we also want to say thank you to those puppy raisers who helped our dogs grow and mature. And without that first little bit of interaction, we wouldn't have these amazing animals that are with us today. And we really thank you for that. I want to thank the Guiding Eyes staff, always greeting us with a smile in your voice and always asking, is there anything we can do? I also want to say thank you to Thomas, the Guiding Eyes CEO, and Kathy, Vice President of Guiding Eyes, for this amazing organization, for not only the staff that you provided to us, but the animals that you've given to us, and the ongoing support that we have going forward. That is the cool part, is you get into this training, you're taking in so much information, you're just, at times we get a little overwhelmed. But it doesn't stop just because we walk out the door. We head to an airport and get to deal with TSA in the morning. Yay, can't wait. But it's going on beyond that, so that when we have those little hiccups, when things aren't quite going right or we need an answer, we know where to go, we know who to call, we know how to get it done. And we appreciate that greatly. And we also want to thank Maddie for helping us in many ways, and most importantly, making sure that stairs were never in her forecast for getting to work. So we truly appreciate that. And Maddie did a great job of just being there, helping us, keeping us on track, and kind of keeping us going in the right direction. And I also want to thank everyone for attending and being here and supporting us today. As this is a new journey for some of us have seasoned and have done this before, but you're making us feel great and making this new adventure even more enjoyable as we head out on our way. Oh yeah, and last but not least, I want to say thank you to Jolene, Catherine, and Michelle. You have, there's things we can't say that you've done, but for those things that we can say that you've done, we want to say thank you. Thank you for pushing us. Thank you for really taking us to those limits at times that we need to be taken to. We may not have been happy about it, but we needed to go there. So there are some of us who may need a little more leash correction to the dog, but it's okay. We still got through it. But thank you. We do truly appreciate it. Thank you, Jolene. See, look, no tears.
Thank you, Christopher, for keeping the bus in the parking lot. Subtly, just a touch. Thank you very much, Chris. And you're right, you did keep your promise. No outright tears. Now, there's no graduation that would be complete without the presentation to the puppy raisers. So I'd like to introduce Maria Lazaro, Director of Operations at our Patterson campus, to make the presentation of photos.
I have to lower this. Thank you, everyone. As I look at all these beautiful dogs lying up here, I always like to say, I knew them when they were just a gleam in their daddy's eye. And now seeing them all grown up doing what they're meant to do fills us with so much pride and love for them. So on behalf of the Canine Development Center, I'd like to extend a sincere and heartfelt congratulations to the graduating class of September 2019 and their beautiful guiding eyes. It is truly an honor and a pleasure to be able to spend this day with you. Congratulations. The journey of a Guiding Eyes puppy is a long one, and it doesn't happen without our dedicated staff, our generous donors, and a team of over 1,500 volunteers who fill a very important role in this journey. From our brood stud fosters, families, to our early socializers, our home socializers, our home litter care families, our puppy sitters, region coordinators and helpers, our volunteers in administrative and kennels, both Yorktown and Patterson, and our tour leaders, drivers, and ambassadors. And they say it takes a village to raise a puppy, and it does. So thank you all. And finally, I want to thank a very special group of people, our puppy raisers. These amazing people take these beautiful little puppies in their homes when they're only 8 weeks old. They love them, they care for them, they train them, they stay up with them all night when they're sick, and then they give the ultimate gift. They give them up so they can be here today to do what they're meant to do. And while I say it's the hardest job at Guiding Eyes, it's also the most rewarding. So thank you very much from the bottom of our hearts. And also a special shout out to the raisers who have raised dogs that have become part of our elite breeding colony. It truly doesn't happen without them. These dogs are chosen for their temperament and behavior. They have a very important job to do. They produce the next generation of guide dogs. So congratulations to all of them out there. And thank you. And one final thank you. I have to give a shout out to the staff at the Canine Development Center. They take these puppies from, like Chris said, when they're born till they're ready to go to their raisers. They love them, they care for them. They try and give them the best possible start they can so they can go on and be here today. So a special shout out to them. And now, I'd like to present our puppy raisers with their certificates and photos. Please have one member come up from your family to accept. And we'll begin with Carol Buchanan from New Hampshire. Carol has raised 11 puppies for us. Sarah Kate Hill from Eastern Mass, who has raised her first puppy. They are raisers of Guiding Eyes Addie. And they could not be with us today. Leslie and Alex McIntyre from Baltimore. They are raisers of Guiding Eyes Drummer. This is their first puppy graduating. Congratulations. Day Palmer and family from Central Connecticut. They have raised Guiding Eyes Fauna. They have raised 3 puppies for us. Congratulations. Catherine Walken from Finger Lakes, New York, Abby Davenport from Finger Lakes, New York, Raisers of Guiding Eyes Fergus, congratulations. The David Anderson family from Dutchess, New York, Raisers of Guiding Eyes Quella, and they have raised 3 puppies for us. Lee and Eric Nagel from Cattaraugus, Raisers of Guiding Eyes Ronnie, they have raised 4 puppies for us. They could not be with us today. Janet Newcity from Columbus, Ohio, Raiser of Guiding Eyes Vespa, and raiser of 16 puppies for Guiding Eyes. Bravo, Janet. Under home training, Kelly Wash and Jason Young from Southwestern Vermont, Raisers of Guiding Eyes Blaze. Congratulations. Donna Lind and family from Central New York, Raiser of Guiding Eyes Finn. They have raised 4 puppies for us, but they could not be with us today. The Houghton family from Finger Lakes, New York, and Cassie is a regional manager with Guiding Eyes and has raised 10 puppies for us. Congratulations. And she's Jolene's sister too, just so you know. Nicole Dorsey from Shenandoah, Raiser of Guiding Eyes Rico, and they have raised 6 puppies for us. She could not be with us today. Catherine Langston from Delmarva region. She has raised Guiding Eyes Trent, and they have raised 2 puppies for us. She couldn't be with us today. So at the Canine Development Center, we have a saying, from small beginnings come great things. So now I'd like to introduce future Guiding Eyes, the handsome Dakota, and his lovely sister, Demi. And these are Tom Panik's sons that have brought the puppies up. So the puppies will be available for autographs in the groom room at the end of graduation. And at this time, we'd like to invite anyone who would love to volunteer with us. Please do so. Ellen Mitchell, our manager of volunteer services, is here, and she'd be happy to talk to you. So take care, guys. Yeah, you want to? We can arrange it. And so in closing, I'd like to say to the graduates, I know the puppies. I'd like to say to the graduates, he is your friend, your partner, your defender, your dog. You are his life, his love, his leader. He will be yours faithful and true to the last beat of his heart. You owe it to him to be worthy of such devotion. May God bless you all and keep you safe.
Thank you, Maria. Thomas, it looks like you have 3 boys to convince that they're not going home. FYI. So today, as Kathy mentioned, would not be possible without a couple of incredibly talented staff that I've had the pleasure of working with. And yes, I'm going to make you stand up one more time because that's what I do. So Michelle Tang and Catherine Russell, please stand up. You've put tremendous work into training not only the dogs for the past few months, but these students for the past couple of weeks. And Maddie, you also must stand again. Our class instructor's assistant. Without Maddie, we would probably forget our names at some point and not remember where we parked the vans or know who was coming up next and who we told what order to. But she kept things running smoothly for us. The time and work you've all put into these teams is admirable. Now to the teams that sit before us. The level of commitment, determination, and confidence you've shown during class is exceptional. You guys came together 3 weeks ago, strangers from across the country and Canada, and since have become a close-knit group. You've supported one another throughout this journey with your new guide dog. The weeks have been filled with stories, support, laughter, and growth. I don't think anybody would doubt that you're all leaving here more confident than you came. Now, to present to you your graduation certificates. And Chris, I see that. Stop it. First up, we have Vito, Russell, and Fergus. Cody Lip and drummer. Ellie Tutkin and Fauna. Chris Turner and Ronnie. Jim Bergeron and Vespa. Verlisa, Narcisse, and Addie. And Lisa Gathers and Quella. Now to wrap things up a little bit, thanks again for joining us today. I hope you've enjoyed our graduation. After the ceremony, there are refreshments up in the dining room. Feel free to, I would say it's a beautiful day, but it's a little, hopefully the rain has subsided. Feel free to enjoy our grounds. The kennel tour will happen about 30 minutes after we wrap up in here. Maddie is the one you're looking for. The kennel tour will start in the lobby. We will run around and make announcements so everybody knows it's happening. Okay. I want to leave you with a little story. Yesterday, most of us had an enjoyable afternoon at the movies. No, we did not choose the movie based on me today or Lisa, but we enjoyed watching Brittany Runs a Marathon. And I think it fits for us. She started with a short, small goal to run a block. She ultimately runs the New York City Marathon. What does this have to do with us, you might think? All right, well, you all came here 3 weeks ago to accomplish what some might interpret as a small goal. Not a small goal for you guys, but some might think getting a guide dog, just a small goal. You came, you not only got a guide dog, but I can assure you, in the last 3 weeks, you've all accomplished things that you may have deemed impossible for yourself. Traveling with a guide dog confidently in whatever environment that you may have had your aha moment. But you've all encountered that moment this month. This month. We'll say month. This is just the beginning. Just think about the goals that you and your dog are going to accomplish in the years to come. Thank you for coming today. Please just give the graduates a moment to get the harness off before you approach. Thank you.
Nice job, Joe.
Thank you.
Yep.